Brought to you by Eco Alkalines, environmentally responsible batteries, cat5.tv/eco.
Eric, we've been talking on the show, and I do talk about it often enough that, you know, I really want to help viewers who encounter things like phishing scams or malicious emails, things that are going to trick them into providing information that they shouldn't. And so this week, something came in that's a little bit different, and we actually received a couple of emails here at the studio that really, it's astounding how real some of these things look. A phishing scam is an email or a website or something that pretends to be something else to trick you into actually providing your personal information.
Hi, I'm Robbie Ferguson. Tell me your password.
Last week, we actually demonstrated that it doesn't have to be a computer program. It doesn't have to be even on a computer. We can actually receive phishing scams by post as well.
Yes.
You could be walking through a mall and someone's handing out flyers, and for all you know, those could be phishing scams. Who knows? I got a really, what I would call a scary one this week, because when I walked into the house, of course, I carry my iPod Touch in my pocket. It's just my mobile kind of device. And whenever I'm within reach of Wi-Fi, suddenly I start getting my email. So I entered the house, and ping, I got an email. So I looked at it, and lo and behold, I got an email that absolutely, seriously looked like it was from PayPal. We've never touched on this before. Whenever we've looked at phishing scams, we've always looked at it from the approach of you're sitting at your computer, you can see the address bar, you can kind of figure it out that way by hovering your mouse over a link. A mobile phone, or a mobile device in my case, you don't have that advantage. You don't have a mouse that you can hover over a link to see in the status bar whether it's the legitimate site or not. So I'm going to show you this actual email that came in. There it is. That's on my iPod Touch. And here's what was scary about it. It looks absolutely legitimate.
Except for the fact you probably didn't have that much money in your bank.
That's... Well, here's the scary thing. Okay?
Oh.
I know that I don't have that much money in the bank account. It's saying that I've paid $4,200 out. So PayPal is a transient account. I never carry that much money in my PayPal account. So what do? Just in case I ever need access to money in PayPal, I've connected my bank account to that PayPal account. Most people do that, and that's fine to do, and it's safe to do. It's like any online banking transaction or connection. It works really, really well, and they make it safe. But this was scary because I knew that connection was in place. So if I don't have that money in PayPal, what is it going to do? It's going to actually take that money out of my personal bank account. And you'll see, if you look closely at the email, it says, looks completely legitimate. Dear PayPal user, you sent a payment of $4,200 USD to this Boyd Morin. Please note that it may take a while, blah, blah, blah. And there's a link. Click here to view the transaction. The payment was sent using your bank account. By using your bank account to send money, you just paid easily and secure. See how it's using manipulative wording to make you think that this is really PayPal. It's secure. It's safe.
Yeah.
Right? This is all to trick you into thinking, wow, this is actually happened. And for a moment, when I walked in the door, I saw that. It looks absolutely real on my device.
That's
your heart
a good-looking one compared to many
really
of them.
Good.
You know, grammatically, it's not messed up like so many of them are.
Yeah, it's got a transaction ID. It looks very, very much like a legitimate PayPal email that you would expect to receive. So what the average user would do is, of course, click on your transaction ID to find out more, or with your finger touch view the details of this transaction online. Now, my screenshot you can't scroll down on, but below that there were actually more links. Click here for more information about this, and it looks really, really legitimate. Now, sorry.
I've known people who've actually clicked on a link and given their information.
Absolutely, unknowingly.
Yeah.
Because what I did. And here's what you should do too when it's in question, if you're not absolutely certain. I went immediately to my computer. I went to paypal.com and I logged into PayPal and I checked to see if there was a transaction showing for $4,200, and there wasn't. So immediately I was suspicious that, this email is probably not even real.
Right.
So then I logged into my email from my computer, and then I was able to hover over the email links that were shown in that email, and I realized, nope, this is not PayPal at all. It's directing to some other website, but the links look legitimate. If you see in your email, https://paypal.com/whatever, you think that that's really PayPal, but then when you hover over that link, you realize
may not actually be the hyperlink.
That's right. That's just text. I mean, I can make it say anything. I can make it say click here for more. I can make it say https://paypal.com. So it's when you hover over it on your computer, it shows you in the status bar what that link is actually going to take you to, and that's what you need to be mindful of. So that's the PayPal one that I got this week. Now, I also received one from FedEx. Lo and behold, and just to show you that these things are really,
It said it was from FedEx. He didn't receive it.
It
from
was not
FedEx,
from FedEx. Yes,
just
exactly.
don't want the FedEx.
And this makes it hard on those companies too. I mean, what's the first thing that a million people do is they send an email to PayPal, right? Heather, you were mentioning that you were in the same kind of situation, received something that seemed suspect. So the first thing that you do is you send an email to the provider, the actual provider, be it PayPal, FedEx, and say, I got this email. Is this real? What is it? Why are you sending me this? Blah, blah, blah. So from a business standpoint, of course, it means that they're probably receiving a number of those emails, and they're having to explain that it's not actually them, and that can cause problems with business too, right?
Yeah.
So if we look at, now I'm going to bring up this one that I received from FedEx. Let's see here. Okay. Again, this one looks very, very legitimate. It looks like a FedEx tracking number and a FedEx email that says, your parcel has arrived. The courier was unable to deliver the parcel to you. And it has that day's date and the time. And it says, to receive your parcel, please print the receipt and go to the... So what do you think? See, that's what I'm talking about. The links can say anything. Look at that print receipt. Now, if I hover over that, I don't know if you can see this at home. Hopefully, if you're watching in HD, you'll see that is actually going to
on their Vital
or some other website that is absolutely nothing to do with FedEx. So if I click that to print the receipt, again, it's tricked me into doing something that we're not supposed to, and that can cause some really big problems. We've got a special delivery here tonight. Hey, Rachel Shue.
Hello there.
Sneaking you some.
I said I wanted cookies. This is pretty good, though.
These guys are not even... Apparently, we need to get...
They should become a sponsor, shouldn't they?
So, Timmy's.
Rachel is working for Tim's. That's what the deal is here.
You talk.
You want me to talk? You mean I can't eat? Actually, you mentioned phishing scams that actually aren't computer ones. And
right.
I mean, a friend of mine, this is a computer thing, but he had a reputable antivirus program on his computer. He got a phone call saying, oh my goodness, you've got viruses on your computer. We need you to log in right now. And, he's new at computers, and he believed them because he actually had this particular brand. Yeah. They had him, he gave them everything but his social insurance number just because he believed them. And and as soon as he talked to me, I said, go to your bank, do this. Like he had to cancel bank accounts, credit cards. He didn't actually end up losing a pile of money or anything, but it was just an absolute total lie from the get-go, but it sounded legit. And
absolutely. They are good.
And
phishing scams are very realistic. I'll give you another story.
You want to be somewhat skeptical by nature is really useful.
You kind of have to be, and it's all about just having that knowledge and knowing how to check on things. And I've said it before. If you're in doubt, if you doubt that it could be, if you think it could be something malicious, pop us an email live at category5.tv and we'll take a look at it for you. I had one, Eric, that reminded me how phishing scams can happen over the phone. Actually got a call from a customer who was, I'll say, smart enough to consult, smart enough to find out, is this legitimate? They actually called me up and they said, I've got Microsoft on hold on the other line. I was like, okay, yeah.
No, they put you on hold. You don't put them on hold.
They're telling me that I need to give them my password to get into my computer because they're calling me up. Microsoft, okay, not really Microsoft,
yes.
Microsoft makes a cold call and says, this is Microsoft calling. We see that you're running Windows 7. Yeah, I am. Okay, well, that's, how many percentage of people, so great. But you already automatically trust them. Okay, so you're running Windows 7. We have just discovered an exploit, which is very, very serious. It can't be fixed by your virus scanner, and we need to get this fixed immediately. Now, as a service to our customers, because you've purchased our software, you're using Microsoft Windows, we're offering a free service to fix that for you online, or you can bring it into your local computer shop and you can pay the bill. It'll probably be about $150 for you to do that. So would you like to do that, or would you like us to? We'll send you a piece of software and you can actually we'll connect in and we'll take care of the problem for you. 9 times out of 10, the user who is unknowing says, "Oh, okay, well, no, I'm at my computer right now. I'll be happy to let you in." So this customer of mine, of course, had that happen, and fortunately had called me at the same time. So then, of course, they get the remote administrative software. They get in, they install a rootkit or something that is going to allow them to access your computer even when you're not at your computer. Something that would add you as a part of a botnet, steal your keystrokes, which would possibly take your credit card information, things like that, your login information for certain services as you type them into your keyboard. So that kind of stuff can be really, really scary. I, in fact, received that very phone call from Microsoft.
It's MIKROSOUGH.
And I didn't have time to really play with them, but I could. I would love to sit down and play the novice user and pretend that I'm walking through all the steps and just see where they go with it. But I'm a Linux user. So even if they sent me their Windows tool to hack into your system, it's not going to do anything, most likely, because I'm on Linux, and so I'm a little bit more safe. But it made it kind of ironic that they were calling me and saying...
Well, that's kind of like back to another email one where, you're dealing with one bank.
Yeah.
And, sometimes you'll get an email, and it'll say, say you deal with Scotiabank, it'll say it's TD. But every once in a while, they actually get the right bank.
It's hit or miss.
And it looks good. The graphics are right, and if you're not wary, you may
might get
click
that
on
email
something.
from PayPal.
Yeah.
And you don't use PayPal, so you immediately think, "Oh, that's suspect," right? So you just delete it. But somebody like me who heavily uses PayPal on a regular basis, and all of our donations come through PayPal, so the immediate fear is, oh, well, what happens if that money were lost, because that was been graciously donated by our viewers.
Right. Actually, I was going to see if we could start a campaign to buy me a Z10 or a Z10 if you're in the... No.
There you go.
Oh.
So
Yacht, or Jot, says he reports all phishing links to http://fishtank.com, and that's with a PH.
Cool.
I'm not familiar with that site, but
283.
283.
Very good. Comes to us from Jot, a reliable source.
Well, I don't know.
To kind of summarize the conversation here, folks, just be very, very wary when you open something that you're not absolutely sure of. Watch when you're clicking on links. Make sure you forward something over to us if you're not too sure, and we'll be happy to look into it for you.
Category 5 TV is a production of Prodigy Digital Solutions and is licensed under Creative Commons Attribution 2.5 Canada. Thanks for watching.